Hey guys, welcome back. It's Matthew with another episode of Watty's channel. This is going to be part 3, and it will be the conclusion episode of the original San Francisco toy line review. So again, we're only basically doing like series 1 through 3, the vibrating figures, baby faces versus heels. So I know there's like a bunch of Toy Biz or other figures that came out afterwards. There were quite a few wrestling rings, play sets, things like that. Those will not be included here. I think I do actually have 1 or 2 of the actual Royal Rumbles or ring sets, but I won't be including that in the video. So we've done Series 1 and Video 1, Series 2, because I only had a couple characters really, and Series 3 last video. So this video, we're going to start off with the special editions. Now there were a number of special editions, but I only pulled one off the shelf. I don't have them all anyway, so it doesn't really matter. And as far as design and color, probably my second or third favorite box set. Maybe my third. So I really like the Hogan and Sting box set with the Sting pants was probably my favorite. And then, what was I talking about in the last video where... Oh, it was Hogan and Macho Man with the black and white, which I thought was great. But, I mean, this is such phenomenal colors. I absolutely love this. So you got the Wolfpack Sting, and then you got, like, the Crow Sting. When he started doing that whole Crow gimmick, huge fan of the movie, so I kind of loved it, but at the same time, I kind of missed, like, the Sting with like, the awesome face paint. And here he just kind of, like, just went total dark side, I guess. But this is the... And they just call him Sting on the Crow. They don't even call him, Sting Crow or anything like that. But they call Sting Wolfpack on the red face, which is kind of weird. But again, I didn't watch WCW. I'm not really sure how they broke that stuff down, to be honest. But either way, absolutely phenomenal box set. Absolutely love this one. I don't have a date on this. I just wrote down special editions. So the next one is a limited edition Set 1 Heels from 1997. Again, this list is not complete, but, I mean, not my original San Francisco Toymaker collection in total isn't complete. But I do have a good chunk of them, so I still figured that these would make good videos. And, of course, it was something I really was eager to jump on board. So the first one for the WCW Monday Nitro is the Booker T figure. So I don't have Booker T and Stevie Ray tag team on card, which in the purple outfit, but I do have them on individual card for the Nitros. So I'm still hoping to get the other colors of them for the tag teams. Kind of finish off that portion of it. Booker T. Now, I read one review that talked about this figure, when they listed as Booker T, that this being Stevie Ray, and the Stevie Ray carded one was actually Booker T. Because they all have Booker T, with this particular figure, I'm assuming that this was correct. Now, obviously, there is a Nasty Boys carded figures where they got Brian Knobbs and Jerry Saggs backwards, but, I mean, that was understandable. But as far as Harlem Heat, I don't know who's who. I don't know anything about these wrestlers myself. So that was Booker T and Stevie Ray. And they actually do have the word heels down here. So that helps, obviously separate who's who. Again, backing. The backing, like most of these, are always going to be identical. Not really anything different going on there. And I think I might actually have all the heels. Yeah, I think I might. Maybe. I don't know. From looking at this list here, it looks like I have them all. This was Stevie Ray. I'm going to make sure I put down the right figure. Stevie Ray would be the second heel. And then we've got the Hollywood Hogan. Again, we've already seen these figures all from previous videos. Original San Francisco, all they did was keep boxing the same figures over and over again. And that's why, as a collector, it's been so frustrating. Because you're spending all this money and all you're getting is the same exact figure repetitiously, and it's frustrating. And even with the series 1 and 2, they don't say anything about it. They did start putting series 3 on those cards, but I actually thought that these heels and faces were actually part of the series, like maybe series 4, series 5, if it was continuing, but they're different, different segues into where they were headed. So Hogan, it's guys like Sting and Hogan. It's just so hard, and Bret Hart would be another one. It's just so hard to think of them as bad guys. I mean, how did that happen? Why would you do that? I don't have Lex Luger. I don't have Macho Man. I don't know why I don't have Macho Man, but so Macho Man, again, the black and white Macho Man. We've seen the last video where he was in a tag team with Hogan. That would be the Macho Man from this set here, and then we dig into Ric Flair Purple. Again, we've seen this guy 100 million times. Not gonna spend too much time on the Purple Ric Flair. Same exact figure, no difference. And then we jump into the Sting Wolfpack. Getting this after already having this. Why? Why do this to us? Now imagine if Hasbro or LJN or any of like the major toy lines kept doing this, kept putting the exact same figure after release after release after release. They would have gone bankrupt within a year or so. I don't know for sure, but if I had to guess, I'm thinking original San Francisco only had like maybe had contracts with select wrestlers, and they could only, so maybe they had contract with like 10 wrestlers, and let's say WCW, for example, had 100 wrestlers. Maybe they could only produce those particular characters. That would be my only guess, because why would you keep doing the same figures over and over again? Yeah, you want to produce the what's going to actually sell, but I mean, I got a Chris Benoit figure in here. I don't know anything about Chris Benoit. I could care less about Chris Benoit. But I mean, he, as a collector, you best believe I'm gonna get him at some point. So, Sting Wolfpack, great figure, but the fact they keep doing that to us it's a killer. And then I don't have. That's weird. So I don't have Giant, which is I don't understand, because I got Giant. I got like a million different Giants, and I don't have Kevin Sullivan in red trunks. Again, we've seen the black trunks. I didn't have the blue trunks. I don't have the red trunks, but same exact figure. Then we dig into limited edition set 2, which are the baby faces. They got Jerry Sags on here for the blonde Brian Knobbs. And to me, like, I think the Nasty Boys were like a great bad guy tandem, and to think of them as good guys in that sense made no sense. I didn't like that, and I don't know, even thinking back as a kid and watching Nasty Boys, even when they, WCW or WWF, I never thought of them as good guys. So, of course, I never really thought of wrestlers in general as good guys and bad guys. So, just, who was fighting who and so forth. I mean, how many times did Hogan square off against Macho Man? But at the same time, they also formed like a dynamic duo as a tag team combination. So, but they have Brian Knobbs. Don't let the Jerry Sags nameplate fool you. As the first of the faces. And just kind of looking at this list here, Booker T, Hogan, Luger, Macho Man, Flair, Stevie Ray, Sting, Giant, and Sullivan. We got 9 characters from the heels, but only 3 were given faces. Jerry Sags, again, they have Brian Knobbs on the Jerry Siggs figure. These are all identical. I mean, you're not gonna spend too much time, looking these over. Maybe you want to look at the cards. Some of these cards aren't perfect. Just the fact that it's carded was enough for me. I was cool with that. And I don't know if they've ever went back and addressed the name issues on the cards. I mean, I would have figured it would probably be too expensive to change that out, but I'm wondering if anybody, took the two figures, cut off the bubble, and just kind of swapped it up and put the right figure on the right package. I mean, me personally, I would think there'd probably be more value with the error card than not, but I don't know. Now, someone I think makes a terrible face, and I had to tape the heck out of this one. This is one of those figures I got from, was it called CW, Collector's World. I spent all that money at their shop, and when I got my packages in, $1,000 worth of items, and they all fell off. And that what made me mad, because when I reached out to Collector's World, I even told them, look, I could have gotten these guys for like $10 a piece if I wanted to buy them loose. But no, I was shelling out $30, $50, $70 per figure because they were carded, and that carded part was important to me. And then when I get the figures in, 90% of the figures are, busted. The packages is destroyed, or the bubble's destroyed. The card and bubble separated, so it's like, I was so frustrated. And then when I had to go in, what did I do? I put Scotch tape to hold the bubble to the card. I hear some people use staples, but I'm not doing that. I'm not putting holes in the card. The idea of using Scotch tape or packing tape is that it's clear. It's going to blend in with the package. This Scotch tape doesn't really blend in. I think that's why I started using packing tape, because it actually did blend in a lot better. But guys, we're not talking about that right now. We're talking about the figures. Giant Big Show as a good guy. I didn't really realize that you had to have facial hair in order to be a bad guy. So they just take the Giant figure to shave him up and call him a good guy. Okay. Big Show, the Giant. That is the last of the faces. They only made 3 of them again. And both those sets, Heels and Faces, were produced in '97. This one is the original San Francisco Toymakers WCW Monday Nitro figures, and they are the vibrating figures from '97. So the first one there was Chris Benoit. I don't remember, but I think I remember hearing that this guy committed suicide, and if that's true, that's so depressing. You know a lot of wrestlers that we grew up with, passed over the years. But when people take their own lives, I mean, that's just... and I think it goes deeper than that. I think it wasn't just him. So I don't want to... This is supposed to be a fun channel, and I don't want to dive into really sad stories and stuff like that. That's just depressing. But overall, the vibrating figures aren't my favorite. The design isn't all that great. But, I mean, on card, it looks pretty decent. And, yep, this one actually vibrates, which is awesome. They have a working figure. Again, card backings. Most of these backings, I mean, some of the backings, like the 2 Sting figures, the Hogan and Sting card backing, those are beautiful. I love looking at those. But then some of these are just so simple, so plain. Nothing to get excited about. But Chris Benoit, the first vibrating figure. Gotta keep reaching back far away. Alright. This one isn't bad if it wasn't for the hands. I mean, this is a great figure with an awesome championship belt. But those little tiny baby hands, it's like they took me and put me on a card with my little baby hands. They're so tiny and just so horrible. When I bought a lot of LJNs, I think I paid like $350 for him. It was supposed to be like a large lot, like 25. And I've done that in the past a lot, buy these large lots, and I don't need like 1 or 2 figures out of the lot. But I always think, okay, I have all these duplicates now. Maybe I could sell them, individually, get my money back, or even turn a profit. So this one and a Sting figure loose were part of that lot, and I'm like, they were good figures, so I really didn't say anything. But thinking back on it, when you claim to have 25 LJNs for sale, and really you only end up with like 22, 23. I don't know what else was in that lot. I don't think they were all LJN though. Again, I had a Hogan, I had a Sting, and they were these figures. And I think I had 1 or 2 other pieces, maybe. I can't remember. That were part of that collection. Still, like I said, I ended up with a bunch of duplicates. Those duplicates I used for Rumbles before I started making these videos so I could talk about them. And I ended up with a couple other pieces that I'm hoping that one day sells. This one does not work. Oh, yes it does. Awesome. But again, I really love that championship belt. That is fantastic. Alright, after Hogan, we've got Kevin Nash. Let's do Lex Luger first, because I got him next in line. So this was, I want to say this was one of the figures I got from Collector's World. And I didn't tape this one up, so this one looked like it stayed on the card. But again, look at that hand damage. So this right here, because it's still connected to the card, just when I contacted them, this was actually one of the figures that I considered to be in good shape. I don't know why I do air quotes a lot. But let's see. He doesn't work. He doesn't vibrate. Broken or damaged bubble. I don't know how much I paid on this one. I won it on auction, as I did, all of, Collector's Worlds. Pretty much everything that they have is auction style. But it had to be $30+, maybe even $50 on this one. I don't remember. But the point is, I spent a lot of money, and it's one of the best carded figures I got is damaged badly. As a collector, we all know, the score. The card or packaging that the figures come in are just important as the actual figure itself. You could always get one of these figures loose for like $10, perfect condition, mint condition. So, if you just simply want to, display them loose on your shelf or something, yeah, you can. I have duplicates of this one loose. But I have no intention on holding on to them. Again, they're not my favorites. I hope to sell them, but so many people selling the exact same stuff, and some people they're obviously more noticeable for sellers, so. They sell a whole lot better, and because I don't like doing auctions, if I list it for cheap, I could put this up on my eBay right now for like $10, and it'll sit there forever. This one is a Kevin Nash. I did talk about making that video. I'm gonna sideswipe real quick. I did talk about value of products and what I feel are people overpay on. I won't do it in this video, of course, but I think I will make a video about that one day. And so this one is Kevin Nash. Diesel. To me, that's all it is. It's Diesel. It's not Scott Hall. It's not Kevin Nash. It's Razor Ramone. It's Diesel. Just, I don't think Randy Savage, but I'll call him Randy Savage, but most of the time it's just Macho Man. This is actually a really fantastic figure, and I believe it vibrates. Yes, it does. So some of the big guys like Diesel or the Giant, Big Show, to me, some of the bigger guys have the better figures. Again, I'm not going to harp on this one for too long. This one is actually in pretty good shape as far as the bubble is concerned. But when you see this orange bubble and it's not super clear, you know that it's on its last life. That eventually this bubble is going to start breaking. So this one is the Scott Hall Razor Ramone figure. I got this on eBay, and the great thing about this is I got this with a signature on it. Once I received this in the mail, I think maybe not even a month, maybe a week, 2 weeks, I don't know. Let's say 2 weeks, for example. 2 weeks later, Scott Hall had passed away. Very depressing. And when you see, videos of like Bret Hart and, Kevin Nash, all these guys that you've seen as kids, you always want to remember them from your childhood. When you see them and they're much older, gray hair, they just look so weird. It's so awkward. If you're growing up with somebody like your mom, for example, if you're growing up with your mom and you see her every day, you're not going to notice, the changes, in your mom. You're growing up with your wife every day, you see every day, you're not going to really notice, the gray hair when it comes and all that, because you see them every day. Now imagine you don't see your wife for 20 years, and then you come back and see her after being away for so long, and you start seeing the difference in wrinkles, hair color, stuff like that. And seeing Scott Hall, after not, really seeing any pictures of him for 20 odd years, he just looked like a completely different person. And again, this vibrating figure, this is actually another really good one. For the most part, I'm not a huge fan of the vibrating figures. It works, which is nice. I love the fact that it's signed, and I might try to get some kind of case protector for this at some point, because this has to be protected at all costs. Razor Ramone, one of my favorites as a kid, and I'm so sorry to hear about his passing. So we got Lex Luger, Scott Hall. Next on my list is Sting. And this one does not work. So I think this might be the Sting that I have loose. When I talked about getting my bundle of figures in, and part of it was the Hogan and Sting figures, vibrating figures. They have good enough size to them where they can blend in pretty well with the LJNs. You could still use them for the most part. Now, putting this against like Jimmy Snuka, fine, I guess that might work. Put him against, let's say, Greg Valentine, who's like super tall, or Paul Orndorff, who's super tall, it won't do justice, because then you're just like, they're just hovering over the other wrestler. But again, Sting always has a great figure. It's just really awesome. I really don't pay attention to the baseball bats, but they do put baseball bats with these carded figures, which is great. I don't know how Sting went from this to a baseball bat wielding character, but that's Sting. Next, we've got the Giant, Big Show. Again, badly damaged packet. I hate that. Am I gonna buy these again? Make up for the damage? No. It is what it is. I got something on card. That's good enough for me. So I got to readjust myself again. Ooh. As I mentioned, I don't really have a tiny stool, because I'm trying to get the wrestlers and the collections in the background there, and so I got to find something to sit on, so I'm not sitting on the floor. But the only thing that's small enough to sit on, so that my face is at the camera, is a paint can, and it's so extremely uncomfortable. But again, it puts me at a good height as far as being able to show off some other stuff. And at some point, I'm thinking I'm going to switch this over so that I'm on that side, kind of facing the LJNs and maybe some of my movies over there. Or maybe I'll switch it up and kind of point the camera towards the Hasbros. So I did order a new shelf, so at some point I'm going to think about how I want to change up this room a little bit. Some of the workout equipment I have in here, like my treadmill and my bench press machine, I want those out of here. To me, this is like a third living room, so I don't want that type of stuff being in here. Initially, when we moved in, I was going to use it as have a TV mounted to the wall, and it's going to be like the gym down here, but My wife eventually tried to banish me to the basement for like my little man cave, my little collectibles and stuff that she doesn't want upstairs. Uh, but what sucks is you got all these rooms and you gotta seclude all your possessions in one general area, which is great when you want to come down here and look at everything. But at the same time, you're stuffing. And this is a really big room. I called it small, but it's not. It's a big room, and like I said, it's a basement. It's a finished basement. It's to me, it's either a fifth bedroom or a third living room. So nice big room, but because of the amount of collectibles and shelves and stuff that I'm going to put in here, and some of the workout equipment, it just makes it seem small. Back to the video at hand. Sorry, I go off on these tangents sometime, and I don't intend to, but I just get sidetracked. So we are at 25, almost 26 minutes. So the last one we talked about was the Giant. He always seems to have good figures, and because of his height, this one would go really well with any LJN figure that you want to square him up against if you wanted to. I'm not, even with the package being damaged, I wouldn't crack this open. I try to keep it as closed as possible. So that was the Giant, and then we go to the very last piece, the Taskmaster. When I saw somebody selling this, and they kind of do like what I do. If I do auction style on eBay, for example, I put, I'll start the bidding at a price that I'd be comfortable accepting. So let's say I was selling this and I wanted to get, well, as much as possible, but let's say at a bare minimum $20. I'd start the bidding at $20. Problem is, if I'd start, some sellers, they start the bidding at $1, and this thing could sell for like $100. Yet you start the bidding at $20 and nobody wants to buy it. It just it's frustrating. And I see that a lot with my Nasty Boys figures. I can have 2 mint condition Hasbro Nasty Boy figures as a buy it now for $75. And I might get a lot of views, but maybe a couple watchers here and there. But no buyers. Nobody wants to do a buy it now. Nobody even wants to make an offer on that. But you could turn to other people's sites and see how they sell on auction. When they start off at like $1, starting bid, all of a sudden people are paying $150, $160, $175 for the Nasty Boys that are either in the same condition or worse condition than what I have mine figures listed for. And I just don't understand it. It's so incredibly frustrating. It's like you just bought these Nasty Boys for $150 and I have it listed for half that price, and all you had to do is a buy it now option. So that's why I don't enjoy selling on eBay, especially why I don't enjoy, doing auction style, because you never know what you're going to get. It could be more than expected, but at least buy it now options, you're setting a price that, you're comfortable accepting. And this Taskmaster, he kind of fell into the same kind of a scenario. The seller I bought this from, I think he had starting bid was like $45 or $50. I want to say $50 for this one. So I think I got this one for $50, and I think I got that Johnny B. Bad for like $45. They were the starting bids, and I was watching it, and I came in right at the last minute, put in a bid for those items, and I won it. So $45 for that one, $50 for this one, and then I see this guy selling auction for like $20. So I feel like an idiot. I mean, it was a figure I didn't have, so I needed it, of course. So at the time, I was like, you know what? I'm thinking this is a rare product. Let me go ahead and pick that up. And what sucks is he doesn't vibrate. So he doesn't work. $50 for a non-working toy. And again, that doesn't even include shipping costs and taxes. So, yeah. $95 purchase price for those 2 items. I'll probably keep out of pocket $115, $125. But that is the last of the vibrating figures. And I don't... Was I missing anyone? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think that was it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Nope, I was missing... Was I missing Macho Man? No. Anyways, that was all the vibrating figures. And so there are tag teams So you got Sting with Crow gear, tagging with Lex Luger, and then you got Scott Hall all in red, and you got Kevin Nash all in red as another tag team. So this one, I didn't pull this one off the shelf. I'm gonna pause here, guys. I'm gonna go grab that real quick for you. Alright, so this one was called the original San Francisco Toymakers WCW Miscellaneous from 1997. And I got these in plastic. I wanted to sell these, but then I saw this list and I'm like, you know what, I better hold on to them, at least until I'm able to get them carded. And it is a Hollywood Hogan and Dennis Rodman special edition figures. And this is exactly what I'm talking about. I don't like the way that these figures do all this, mostly because when you try to stand them up, I mean, alright, I think I got them. I don't got them. Hold on, let me try again. But yeah, this is, yeah, garbage. This is why anything outside of LJN or Hasbro I'm not a fan of. Original San Francisco Toymakers, they started doing a good job, with the rubber figures and stuff. Even if they couldn't stand the best. Galoob, they don't stand the best, but I mean they're adequate. But when they started to talk about all this articulation and movable joints, it is so frustrating. I actually had, I think it's Toy Biz. I never knew who manufactured it, but I had a Dennis Rodman with blue jean pants and super tall figure, and like a Kevin Nash. He had like these little red, I don't know, vines, something coming out of his pants. Super big figure, and they look great, but you try to stand those figures up, and all they do is just, you try to stand them up, it's like legs fall, go every which way and fall over. And to me, being able to stand up and properly display my figures, that is so important. And it's why I could never stand, figures like these. I'm starting to acquire quite a few of the Elite figures. I mean, I go under like Ringside Collectibles, like Series 139 or something, some crazy high number. I'm like, even with like 4 figures, let's say, sometimes there could be more, I guess, but let's say at 4 figures per series, I'm not buying, let's say $20. $20, 4 figures, $80 per series. Now, at 10 series, you're already at $800. Now, add in another, 10, 100 series for $8,000. I'm like, no. Some of these figures, they look good in boxes the same way as these Jakks Classic Superstars. They look phenomenal inside the box, but when you take them out and they look like this, they're garbage. I hate them. So the Jakks Classic Superstars, I'll buy a few more box sets. I mean, like I said, I like them more for the box than I do the figures in them inside. I will never buy those loose. I have no intention on doing that. Now, some of these figures back here loose, I think because they were more affordable, I think I paid like $10, $20, $30. I think that Sting back there, I paid like $30 for it. And the only reason I bought it is because I plan on selling it sometime in the future. I don't have it listed right now, but I mean, again, it's not something I plan on holding on to long term. And some of the Elite figures, again, because I have OCD, if I have a Series 10 figure and it comes with 4 different figures, I'll eventually try to get those, get those other 4 figures or other 3 figures to make it complete. But in general, the Elites never really did anything for me, and they're just something I just started collecting recently. So I don't know, because I'm kind of out of ideas, because all the things I really wanted to acquire, Hasbro's, LJN's, those to me were it. I didn't want anything else. I really didn't care about anything else. Now that those are complete, I started going into other toy lines, and that's why I started working on Galoob. So Galoob is almost finished. I only need a few more figures now. And so the Big John figure was probably the big one, and that I got a custom of that one, so I'm not gonna worry about that one right now. Um, like I said, the Jakks Classic Superstars, I'm having an awesome time, getting these figures because to me the boxes just looks absolutely amazing. But am I gonna try and acquire all 30 or so series worth? No, of course I can't. I mean, you're talking thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars over time, and I'm like, no, I'm not gonna do that. Uh, I'll try to acquire as many as I can, but as far as trying to complete, I don't think I'll ever be able to complete that collection because I won't shell out the money for it. I refuse to. Now, if we're a few years down the road, my house is paid off, I've got, all this money in savings or something, you know, we can, we can reassess the situation, but it's not a main focus for me. My viewers, if any of you have any idea of something that you guys really enjoy that you think might interest me, please let me know. Absolutely. I'm looking for new collections, and sometimes I start like 5, 6, 7 collections all at one time, and I kind of overburn myself. But that's okay. I'm enjoying my collectibles, and I'm enjoying making these videos and being able to share my experiences and some of my collections with you guys. So absolutely, let me know what you guys think, and we're pushing 40 minutes now, so I'm gonna go ahead and close the video here, guys. Yeah, once again, thank you for watching. I really do appreciate your time, and I will talk to y'all soon. Goodbye for now.